Latin, country, pop, rock and roll, all at one station. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you.
Welcome to The Legal Fix, a new age radio show brought to you by the Tuff Law Firm. We're the toughest law firm in town, with the toughest lawyers around answering your toughest legal questions.
Hey, welcome to The Legal Fix.
The Legal Fix.
A new age radio show by the Tuff Law Firm, the toughest law firm in town, with the toughest lawyers around answering your toughest legal questions. So, I am Bruce Tuff. I am your host. I've got Boy Wonder, Brandon Riley, with me. My co-host, he's riding side saddle. And super lawyer, G.I. Jerome, Jeremy Hall. Where is he? He's gone right now, Boy Wonder.
Government issued is in the hospital right now, having a baby.
He is having a baby. Remy Grace was born today, right?
She was born this morning. That's right.
What time?
1:02.
1:02.
Let's just clarify. Jeremy didn't have that baby. Ruby did.
Ruby had the baby.
Ruby.
Yay, Ruby.
Hooray, hooray.
All right. We love you guys. We love you. We're with you.
I hear Remy. Yep, that's the sweetest sound you'll hear for a while.
Yeah, you know it, right? Yeah.
Not enough babies to know.
Oh, gosh. It's so wonderful. Hey, listen, call us at 936-900-2381. You know, we're Fridays live at noon. You can ask your toughest legal questions. We're live on 91.1 FM, The Boss. Connect with us on YouTube, on Facebook for the latest episodes and highlights. This is episode 14. Can you believe that, Boy Wonder?
It's crazy. And we still operate with no net.
I know. We have no net today. In fact, I got the program notes handed to me about a minute ago, so I'm going to apologize in advance.
Well, and G.I. Jerome wasn't here, so I had to make them.
I know, and like they're all over. They're all scattered. They're out of sequence. But we love your feedback. Leave us a comment, ask a question, recommend a topic for a show.
Call in with your toughest legal question.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, we're going to talk about this today. I'm going to go right off. I'm not on script. I'm going to go off script. We're going to talk about hot topics today. Boy Wonder and myself are going to handle these, and we're going to talk about incorporation in the Woodlands. That's a hot topic, and then we're going to talk about mandatory vaccines. Right? The
honey badger is calling me.
Oh, the honey.
Should I answer it?
Okay. So Boy Wonder has an Apple Watch, and all he does all the time is he's like this. He's just like this. And Honey Badger just called him.
Me.
She knows we're live on the show. She knows we're doing a live show, so she's going to call you and say, what are you doing? Like, where's the brief? Is it the brief?
I'll tell you what it is.
Filed a brief,
no,
right?
it's filed. That's filed.
You filed the brief.
14th Court of Appeal brief
we got
was filed.
A summary judgment.
Summary judgment came in last night, so she's asking me if I've briefed it yet.
Oh my God! And she's on you. She is on you, right? She was doing a hearing. She was doing a hearing today. When I walked out the door, she was banging the hearing and doing 10 things at one time, and she's doing double duty because. I had to go. Let me tell you something. I had to go. You know about this incorporation thing? We should be a city, and then we should pass an ordinance to outlaw stupid people at the COVID testing center. Because I show up, I have to get a COVID test every week. So I show up there.
Is it the nostril swab?
Yes, God.
The brain scan
I show up. I got my thing. I go here. I'm going here. So they got this woman sitting there and she goes, wrong location. You got to be at Rob Fleming. Back of the line, back of the line. I go, wait a minute. It's the same company, Curative, right?
Did you ask her if she knew who you were?
I did. I told her I'm Bruce Tuff. I'm a big deal. And she goes, I don't care. I don't care. You go to that. I said, but I have to drive all the way there. I got to get my dad out of the hospital. He's been in the hospital, and the only way I could see him is I have to go get the damn COVID test. And then they got these idiots working there. So, all right, we're going to be a city, and then we're going to pass an ordinance, and no more stupid people in the COVID testing center.
Take notes, Gordy Bunch.
By the way, my dad is getting out of the hospital today. Colson Tuff, the man, the legend. He is 94. He is defying gravity. They keep saying he'll never make it out. He walks out of the hospital. I'm getting him out today.
How many hospital visits and stays has he had in the
probably
past year?
18.
Wow.
18 ER visits.
All through COVID, too.
Yeah, he is like tough as nails. He can take a bullet and keep on going. And so we're going to get him out. Colson enlisted in the Army at age 17 to do duty in World War II. Man, I just tell you, that's
which Army did he enlist in?
Army Air Corps. That's what they call it.
The U.S. Army.
Yeah, the U.S. Army Air Corps. And was over on a troop ship. I think he turned 18 on a troop ship going over to France. And he was hired by George Mitchell to help develop the Woodlands. He was one of the original Dream Team guys, chief architect for the Woodlands, and this fabulous, fabulous community we have now with 30% open space reserve, and that everybody wants to move into, and the housing prices
number
are
one
going
city in the nation.
In the nation, number one, isn't it? So
it's amazing. What was his biggest accomplishment?
I think,
as far as building the Woodlands,
doing the planning and development for all the commercial development projects, but he created the outdoor sculpture program. So all these beautiful, gigantic outdoor sculptures that are all around the Woodlands, that was Colson's creation and idea. And of course, George Mitchell funded it. Wouldn't happen without George Mitchell.
Sure.
And it's just fabulous. So when you drive one of those outdoor sculptures, you'll see Colson Tuff. Colson believed in community service. He served on the Conroe Independent School District Board of Trustees. He was a trustee. There's a school named after him.
Colson Tuff Elementary.
Colson Tuff Flex School, yeah. And in fact, we did a video for Celebrate the Schools, and Colson and I both appeared, and then and what he would do is show up the first day of school and read a book to all the kids.
That's
awesome. It's just a great thing. So he's getting out today. Colson is back. He's defied gravity. He is going to be home. We're going to have a big celebration, and he'll be back at school to read the books for the kiddos. Okay, Boy Wonder, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do Hot Topics in our second segment. I want everybody who has a hot topic to call. I see the switchboard lit up, so we've got 3 or 4 callers already that want to ask us questions.
Incorporation.
Okay, so we're going to...
Callers, call in on Incorporation.
Yeah, and this is
critical.
And when they call in, ask me the question that you hear, and you go, what is this? Because I've seen so many social media questions that are out there, and people going, whoa, I don't know. I mean, is this really going to happen? Or I've been told this by the township board.
Yeah,
so
you gave a speech last week at Rotary.
I did at Rotary, and it was about 150 people. Okay, so we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back for our next segment. Come on, callers, just call in. We're going to take all your toughest legal questions about incorporation and Maxine backstage. Yes. I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you.
We all want to protect what we love. And we know that child safety seats and seatbelts save lives. Yet 3 out of 4 kids aren't buckled in correctly. And in 2016, 42% of Texas teens who died in crashes weren't wearing a seatbelt. Don't be a statistic. If you love it, click it. That includes you, too. Buckle up. Every rider, every ride.
Ask for your favorite songs using WhatsApp. The number 936-900-2389.
I'm here for your blood! One donation saves 3 lives. To the Hero Bus! Donation time. Hey, you ready to donate? Oh, blood bomb!
Hey, here we are.
Hey,
We're back. Thank
hot
you.
mic, like
you
in
can see,
Russia.
yeah, hot mic. You see, Brandon and I are talking.
I'll have a little
like,
more flexibility
why is,
after
okay,
the elections.
The honey badger is Diana Tuff, by the way, and I just want you to know because we had a caller say, "Why do you always talk about the
We
honey
have a caller
badger?"
now,
Oh, we
don't we?
do. Let's take a call. See, I knew it. We've got these
Welcome
calls
to the
coming
Legal
in.
Fix.
Yes, they're constant.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
hi there, caller.
What's your question?
Hi, my name is Tracy, and I have a question.
Hey, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
Why are the township directors saying that we can be annexed by the city of Houston?
Oh, man,
that's a
what
great question.
Is that a great question?
I don't
All
like
we
that
have,
I had that question in my
We
notes for
have
you.
the smartest listeners around. So I've seen that. I see it on this next door, which is in my neighborhood in
Community
Cochran's
app,
Crossing.
yeah.
And I see, and that's one that's being pitched out there. And I actually heard one of the township directors say, "Yeah, we can be annexed by the city of Houston." That's a niche. No, they
Niche
can't.
don't think so.
Niche don't think so. So we have a regional participation agreement in place till 2057. And we have that agreement with the city of Houston where we can't be annexed. It's a agreement between the city of Houston and the Woodlands Township. But on top of that, there's a Senate bill that was passed in 2017. Dan Huberty, he actually was asked that question, and he said, no, the city of Houston cannot annex the Woodlands, and that is state law. So that's state law in itself. So you've got a double whammy where it can't happen. And I've heard this, but I'm going to dig a little bit deeper. They said, well, that's no guarantee. It can still happen. I want to scare everybody in the Woodlands. I want them all to think we're going to get annexed by the city of Houston. I want all these uninformed people to be afraid, and that's what they're pitching, and they're trying to sell it, and it's wrong. It is seriously wrong.
Fear-mongering is
It
what we
is.
call that.
Exactly.
Senate Bill 6 said that the only way that someone like the Woodlands could be annexed by Houston is if the Woodlands voted and agreed to it also.
That's
so
right. That's right.
Both
Exactly.
towns have to agree to it before it would happen.
And you think anybody in the Woodlands would agree to that? So we have
No.
double guarantees that that's not going to happen. But a great call. Thank you, caller. We
Yeah, it's an
appreciate
excellent
that.
question.
Yeah,
So-
and I've
Thank
seen
you.
that out everywhere too. I've
And
seen
I wanted to ask you about that. Was there ever a time the Woodlands actually needed to incorporate?
yes.
Goodbye, caller, by the way.
Okay, so wait, ask the question again.
Was
It's
there
tough
ever a
legal
time
question. Okay.
that the Woodlands needed to incorporate?
Well, let me tell you that I'm going to go back in time. So when I was chairman of the township and we did the governance steering committee and the process, and this agreement was worked out with Tommy Williams and Mayor Bill White, and the agreement was established, the community associations all were dissolved, and then we created the Woodlands Township, which is the most unique form of government around, and it's the most
one of a
cost
kind in
effective. It's the
Texas.
most cost effective, yes. I
Isn't
think, did we have another caller? We do.
Yeah, we
Okay,
do.
let's take the calls. I'm going to take calls one after
take
another,
them.
and then I'll just...
Welcome to the Legal Fix.
Hi, caller.
Hi.
Hey.
What's your
Hey.
question?
I'm just wondering, why would someone vote to incorporate the Woodlands?
Oh, that's a good one.
Are there any benefits? to
Well,
incorporating?
let me tell you the big, and we did this study back in 2011 and 12 when I was the chairman of the township, and we did a financial model, and then we decided what were the community indicators, what are the pro for incorporating, okay? So one is local control. You control everything. You can pass ordinances. The ordinances are probably the biggest thing, or you take over the water. And we have, and this new incorporation plan that they're doing, one, they're not taking over the muds or the water, and they're all complaining, drainage, water, but we're not taking over that. We have the most efficient and safest community in the nation, and we have community policing that we pay for contract deputies for the sheriff, but you would create your own police department. You could have that, but you'd pay double the amount of money to have your own police department and a jail and a crime lab and all the bureaucracy on it. But I think the big thing is they want to be in control and have power and cram these ordinances down you. That's a pro. That's a pro's pitch. I just read something from the Patriot
Isn't the biggest
Pact.
pitch government funding that
well,
under the Coronavirus Relief Act,
that's right.
that there would be
Well,
potentially millions of dollars that the Woodlands as a city would be able to receive?
It's the Rescue Act, and that has been pitched as we're not getting our fair share of federal money. We need to stand in line with our handout, and we need to be like everyone else. We need to get our federal money. We've got to get that. We've got to get the $30 million federal money because Conroe's getting it. You know, we've got to get that money. That's another, caller, great question, but that's another reason I hear
thank you for
is
your
federal
question.
money ordinance making ability, local control. They're throwing that bogus, oh, we're going to get annexed by the city of Houston. Wrong. That's not going to happen. But
local control means we're paying for our own roads, though.
Oh,
Again,
you do.
right?
The big thing is,
Sounds
yeah,
like it might be expensive.
it is very expensive. So whatever the number, I hear this being pitched that, oh, your tax rate's going to stay the same, but we're going to apply on so many rate increases and franchise fees and all your accounts and bills and everything you do. Cities just layered on. You pay for trash pickup. So those costs and expenses are hidden, and they'll be in the form of rates. Last time we did a study on the Woodlands Township Board, it was about a 70% tax increase because we looked at peer cities, Sugar Land, Plano, Mesquite, Frisco, and every one of those, if you look at their tax rate, is 42, 45 cents to 50 cents, 60 cents, and our rate is 23 cents. So just go figure. I mean, cities have been around for 2,000 years. You're going to go, okay, I think we're going to do it and keep the same tax rate, but we're going to apply on all these fees. So yes, it is expensive. Taking over all the roads, right now, we receive county roads and we pay county tax. When you become a city, you still pay the county tax. It's not going to go away and it's not going to go down. And then you pay for your roads, $100 billion in roads. And you can get, these consultants are all over the place on the lifespan of a road, and whether it's 30 years or 20 years. And the Woodlands has been around for 45 years. So our roads are going to need to be replaced, and someone's going to pay a lot of money for it. I'd rather it be the county. And I think James Nowak, our commissioner, does an excellent job in taking care of our roads and our streets.
For sure.
And why would we want to take on that cost?
I've never hit a pothole.
Okay.
I don't know why
Seems
we
like
would
we
want
got a good thing going already.
I do.
Why
So,
mess it
caller,
up?
have you heard anything about what is for Incorporation? Anything that you've heard that makes sense to you, or that?
I have not. I've only heard reasons why we should vote to not incorporate. We don't want to incorporate.
There's a big push. Now I did hear this, that the boogeyman is the Howard Hughes Corporation, this is just scaring information around that is just crazy. I mean, what is it? Howard Hughes has 15% of the property here, and they've done a damn good job in maintaining George Mitchell's vision and the development of the Woodlands. Why the heck does everybody want to move here?
Who would have bought the Woodlands Tower if not Howard Hughes?
Howard Hughes, they did. When
they didn't, who was
Anadarko
gonna
and
buy it?
Occidental Petroleum went out, they came in to preserve it because they have a long-term vision of the quality of this community. And
Fully
everybody who lives here is invested in this. So why would you mess that up? Why would you want to ruin something that is so great and so unique in the whole country, and especially in Texas, the only township that receives county funds and has their own community city funds applied to make it the most efficient form of government in the state of Texas, and I would say in the United States.
Potentially.
So, yeah, why mess that up? Who does that?
Thank you for the call, caller.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yeah, thank you for calling.
We got to remember to send these callers away. You can't leave them sitting too long.
Here, in case anyone does. I've got signs. I picked these up from Danny Signorelli's office. So Danny is amazing. Yeah, we're going to have him on the show. I asked him when I was picking up the signs. I said, "Danny, you got to be on the show." He had like 3 or 4 things scheduled. He's busy, but he's investing so much time in this. And if you've heard him speak, Danny Signorelli, and see the video on him, we'll try to have a link to that. He is incredible. He is very passionate and very persuasive. A great speaker. He spoke at Rotary,
and he
nailed it. Yeah,
he crunched the numbers, and
he did the whole financial analysis and review, and he has the top 10 reasons why not to incorporate, and we use that in our presentations, and so we'll have that available to you again. So let me do this. We got to get to hot topics.
I want to ask you though.
Yep.
Is it true that the Tea Party is in support of incorporation?
They are. I read something.
Who is the
Julie
head?
Turner? Julie Turner sent something out, the Texas Patriot PAC, and it's very erroneous. It's all about control and power. Oh wait, limited government. We're the Tea Party. We're in for limited government.
No taxation without representation.
And then we're just going to pound you with ordinances and layers of government.
Why would the Tea Party do that?
I don't.
We have a caller.
Makes no sense.
I don't know. This is offensive to me.
Okay. You want to take the caller now, or
we'll take
second
them.
break? Okay, we'll take a call.
We'll take them. We've got a moment.
Carlos, we have time?
Hello.
Okay, Carlos,
welcome to the Legal Fix.
Hello?
Yes. Hi,
Am I on?
Yes, you are, caller. Welcome.
What's your name?
Hi, thank you. I have an incorporation question
Please.
for you.
Yes.
So I've heard some rumblings that incorporation is being proposed now, and if we vote against it as a community, that there's a restriction that it will not be able to be brought to the residents again. It's kind of like a now or never. Is that true?
No, but what a great question.
That
These are
is
the
a
best
brilliant
questions
question.
ever. I mean, I couldn't even think of a question like that, but thank you very much, caller, for that question. And no, the Township Board of Directors can set an incorporation election at any time. And here's what's so weird about this. They set it in an odd year with no one turning out to vote to try to, and then throw the scare tactics out to get their Patriot PAC buddies out, to get their army to vote this in an odd election year, not a big even election year like they promised before. They're going to sneak it through on an odd year, and they can have it anytime. Anytime you can have it. Every year if you want to.
Hasn't he pushed this previously?
He has.
How many times? Two, three times now?
It's been on his agenda for the minute he became the township chairman. So let me take a break. Hey, thank you, caller.
Yeah,
I hope
what
we
a
answered that.
wonderful
You can
question.
set that township, the township directors can do that election next year, the year after, whatever. They should do it in an even year with a lot of people voting. Okay, we're going to take a
Awesome.
break.
Thanks for the answer.
Hey, thanks for
Bye.
that
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the
brilliant
call.
call. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Thank you.
Go to youtube.com on your smartphone, tablet, or PC. Subscribe us on YouTube at Radio The Boss 91.1 FM.
I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you. Hey, welcome back to the Legal Fix. Hey, Boy Wonder, my host, with me. We're one man down.
yo.
We're one man down who just had a baby.
Yeah, but he's like a
Remy
one-man
Grace.
army.
He is. I miss him so much. You know, with Jerome here, G.I. Jerome. He's like, he's like the heart and soul. You know, he just has,
He
and
is.
he's the king of one-liners, by the way. I mean, just crazy.
He's got
so-
zingers for days.
He is so funny, and his hand gestures are just the great. Speaking of kings, the COVID king was on the news.
Ooh.
The COVID king, our President Joe Biden, made
think he'd
a
prefer if you called
announcement.
him King Biden.
The COVID king, that's the name I gave him. So I was thinking, now what's he going to do? What's he going to do in this press release? What is he going to tell? Well, he's just mandated vaccines for everybody. If you have a business and you have over 100 employees, you now have a mandatory vaccine mandate. So this is what I did. I looked at it, I said, can he do first of all, I go, can he do that?
Yeah.
Can
Attorneys are asking the same question.
Yeah, so
can he
the
do that?
attorney, the legal field is buzzing with this, like, hey, how can he do it? Can he do this to a private employer? Can he assert the big bad will of the government? Kind of like what the Woodlands Township directors want to do. They want to be the big bad power in the government, cram these ordinances down your throat, make your life miserable, and make you spend a lot of more money. But here we go. The COVID king, he just can they do this? I mean, Boy Wonder. I assigned this to Boy Wonder because Boy Wonder is our legal genius in doing the research on hot topics. So, Boy Wonder, can the president do this?
No, the answer is probably not. But before we go there, I love that if we bring up Biden, it triggers you. I love that's like your trigger point. Like, just boom, you're on it. It's like,
do you know that
beautiful.
I first of all, I'm like a news junkie, and I used to watch all the news shows and Meet the Press and all the shows that were on. And Biden, as a senator, would always be on the show talking about foreign policy, and the guy was all over the map. one day he's for it, one day he's against it. He wants it. That's what happened in Afghanistan. I mean, this guy can't figure anything out. And when I'd listen to him, he looked a lot weirder back then too. It was just funny. His hair was kind of weird, and I think he got plugs. So, but anyways, I couldn't follow anything he would say about foreign policy, and he'd act like he knew what he was doing, and then everybody would just start laughing. But okay, here you go.
Yeah,
sorry about that. You did trigger. You triggered me.
Triggered you.
Okay, I'm going to throw. All right, don't do that.
Trigger
anymore.
warning, everyone.
Please don't do that.
So
to me, Boy
the
Wonder.
question is: can the federal government enforce vaccine mandates through the Labor Department under existing federal employment law? And the answer is they don't really have any legislation in hand that would allow them to enforce a vaccine mandate at this time. So what they did is a workaround. They did what is called an emergency temporary standard, which is a way for OSHA to enforce restrictions against or on companies that are determined to be where the workers are in a grave danger due to exposure to a toxic substance or agents, and that it would be physically harmful, and that an emergency standard is needed to protect them. So they passed this emergency standard, which bypasses the normal protocols. So when you have a federal agency, they have to go through basically what amounts to public forum where questions and answers get presented before a final administrative law gets passed, or any type of, I don't even know what you call them now because I haven't jacked with this in a while, but any kind of directive that would come from a federal agency has to go through a question and answer session with various members of the community. So it's open to everyone, sort of like what the township board does when they have these conversations with the public.
Public hearings. You have a public hearing to
that's
get
what it was,
public. You get public input in. Which they didn't do in the incorporation election, by the way. No public hearings, no, hey, we're going to have an incorporation election, and, oh, by the way, we don't have the financial model yet, but we'll tell you how much it's going to cost, and we'll just double the assumptions. We're going to, instead of 1% growth, we'll do 2% growth. We're going to increase the sales tax revenue, even though it was down before. They just said, hey, I want to keep the tax rate flat. And I think Dr. Shelley Sekula-Gibbs says, oh, it can only go up 3.5 cents a year. So
per year.
Per year. So 3 times 5 is 15 cents. So get ready. Right. Put your seatbelts on. You're going to get whacked. Wait, now, I'm back to you.
But to jump back, jump back to this applies to any business in the United States, public or private, with over 100 employees. As it sits right now, if they don't mandate vaccines to their employees, they have to at least do mandatory COVID tests on a weekly basis. So between the two, the more efficient plan would be the vaccinations. If they don't do that, it could be up to $14,000 fine per violation.
I was going to ask you, what does this mean to employers?
What
does this mean? And I mean, it is really $14,000
per violation.
Oh my God!
So it could shutter businesses across the nation.
It's going to crush everybody.
And they estimate that it'll reach 80 million, about a third of the workforce in the United States. That it'll apply to about that many. Now, the question you asked is, can it be done?
Who's going to push back on this? Who do you think is going to push back?
Well,
and where's this going to progress? You've already figured this out. I
can tell. I wouldn't say I figured it out, but I've got a rough estimate. We'll call it an educated guess at best. But the question is, does this violate the 14th Amendment? And the answer to that has been hashed out many, many times over the years. And there's an old United States Supreme Court case called Jacobson versus Massachusetts. And in that case, the question was, can the state of Massachusetts mandate smallpox vaccines on their citizens? And the conclusion the court held was that the state had a legitimate purpose in mandating the vaccines. And so under the 10th Amendment, the state had the right to do that. Now, in this context, we're talking about the federal government mandating it. And the odds are that the federal government...
To the states.
Well, to the individuals, right, states and individuals. Does the 10th Amendment
protect states, or what's that all about?
My guess is that the Supreme Court will go 6-3, party lines, Republican majority will say 10th Amendment trumps that. You don't have any authorizing legislation that will allow you to mandate vaccines. So
over the
leave
states,
it to the states
can. So that's kind of like the mask mandates in schools, making them voluntary, or just saying we prefer you wear masks. We're not going to mandate masks, but it's optional, and if it's your personal choice and freedom, and so it's kind of the same principle with the 10th Amendment, right? It's the
same local versus state play out in Texas with the mask mandate, but it writ large to the nation.
So
it'll be states versus the federal government, and it'll be led by conservative states. So Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota, Brian Kemp, governor of Georgia, Texas will be on board. Several other states have declared that they're going to be a part of the fight in the court system.
Have they already declared that?
Yeah, I mean
they're already up for this. They're bowing up. They're bowing up.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that it could drastically change workforces throughout the nation. From my understanding, there was no religious exemptions for this. It was either vaccinate or get mandatory testing on a weekly basis, and there were no exceptions to it. So we'll see how far it goes. Obviously, the Indiana University, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Indiana University enforced a vaccine mandate on its students, and a dozen or so students sued the school.
Wow.
And they lost in the district court, they lost in the appellate court, and Justice Amy Coney Barrett actually declined the emergency request that was filed with the Supreme Court on the grounds that it met all the requirements for reasonable accommodations. So they had religious exemptions, they had health exemptions, and there were other ways that you could get out of taking the vaccine that complied with the Jacobson model. So
right.
I think with this, a federal reach, the odds are the Supremes will go against it as not having valid authority.
Wow. Boy Wonder figured all this out. Did you
Now
just
we
hear
go
that?
that
I am
far.
impressed. What do you have time to do all this? Did you just do this last night?
I'm not going to answer that because Diana will be like, that's why he needs to work more. Honey Badger will be all over me. That's why she was calling me in the middle of the show.
I've got a cigar for Jerome. We're going to smoke it for Remy Grace, his new daughter, and that's our tradition on the Legal Fix, is smoking cigars. And Boy Wonder, you're brilliant. Thank you. That's why you're called Boy Wonder. You come up with this great stuff.
I thought it was because you always wondered where I came up with something. What was he thinking?
It is. Whoa, what is he thinking? Well, thank you, Boy Wonder. That was excellent. I want to thank everybody for joining the Legal Fix.
Yeah, thank you, callers, for the wonderful questions.
We're live. Oh, yeah, we had 3 great callers on the Incorporation questions. We're live at noon. Call us next week, 936-900-2381.
Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. Leave a comment, subscribe. Tell us what you want to hear about, or call in so we can answer your toughest legal questions.
We'll see ya.